morning. Welcome back to First Talk with Hal Row on 1290 WHKY Talk Radio for the Greater Hickory Metro. We welcome this morning Citizens for Equity in Government. Joe Brannock, representing Citizens for Equity in Government, and Billy Sudderth as well. Mr. Brannock will be back Wednesday morning as we host a debate. He's smiling and says, oh, yeah, I got to do that again. Write that down on the calendar, Wednesday morning as we host a debate with the pros and cons and give everybody an opportunity to talk back and forth this upcoming Wednesday morning. But this Monday morning, we welcome the Citizens for Equity in Government. Mayor Rudy Wright was on the show for the monthly Monday morning meeting with the mayor and took some time from his general time on the air that we talked about city events and talked some about the upcoming Ward referendum. Actually, it's a vote to change the city of Hickory charter. Somewhere along the way, it's been called the Ward referendum, but basically it's a change in the city of Hickory charter. That's what's on the ballot. It's a change to the city of Hickory charter. So, but what we're talking about is ward representation. Joining us this morning, Billy Sudderth, member of the Citizens for Equity in Government Committee, as well as Joe Brannock. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having us.
You're welcome. I got to ask you about this first. I look at the Hickory Daily Record today, and down here at the bottom, an ad, I see, vote September 18th, yes. Tell Union Square elite no more $1 million tents. And it's truewards.org, paid for by Citizens in Equity in Government Referendum Committee, Joe Brannock, chair. So I wanted to ask you about this and tell me how vote yes for the Ward referendum translates into Union Square elite no more $1 million tents. So first of all, was it a $1 million tent?
I don't know.
Okay.
I wish someone could possibly tell us that. Let me just first say my daughter's on the way to kindergarten this morning, and she's listening, so hello, Caitlin.
Hey,
Have
Caitlin.
a good day at school.
Very good. Where's she in school?
Viewmont Elementary.
Very good.
Miss Hunsucker's class.
Okay.
So,
Caitlin. Good morning, Caitlin. Is that the only one you have?
That's the only one that's going to school today.
Very good.
Okay.
Good morning, Caitlin.
Good morning, Caitlin. Tell Union Square elite no more $1 million tents. Basically, vote yes for participation. I think if we look at how the Union Square structure was built and the process that went along with it, and let me first say this:
sure,
the structure downtown could easily be, by far, the greatest thing that has ever happened to downtown Hickory. No doubt. We don't know yet. Let's wait and see. My concern has never been that it was built. It has always been how it was built and the process. We were told 245,000. That was incorrect. We were told 487,000. That was incorrect. We're now being told 501,000. Is that correct? I simply don't know. I think it's one of those, fool me once, fool me twice type things. So let's just wait and see, where this figure bottoms out at. But let's just go with $501,000 right now, since that's the number that's being presented. One, does it stop there? Two, we spent over $500,000, and not one citizen out of 40,000 was allowed to publicly speak out or for that the tent was going to be built. No public input. It was in the consent agenda, which allows for no citizen input there. And, if you look at how this petition drive that brought about this referendum started or was initiated, for me personally, it came out of a frustration of citizens not being heard, citizens not being involved.
Very good. So the vote yes and the Tell Union Square elite, that's the representation part of it. That's not having the representation.
For me, here again, right. If we look at the petition, 2,707 people signed this petition.
Right.
I signed it for my reasons. Billy signed it for his reasons. 2,705 people signed it for other people signed it for their reasons. So for me, it's representation. For whoever else, it could be about whatever else.
Gotcha. Very good. Mr. Sudderth, thank you for joining us this morning. Let's talk a little bit about why now. Why is this happening now? Citizens for Equity in Government, the petition. Tell us about the start of it and the impetus. Why is this? Why did it get started? And why now?
Well, our concern became apparent that we were powerless when we lost the swimming pools.
Okay.
That moved on into the fact that we just didn't have any say-so in what took place in our lives. That we were not a part of this concept called participatory democracy that comes from local elected bodies. And in order to get that, we knew that we couldn't get it through the present system of the blend system. As we researched and found what it was, that we needed to get a system where we could get some direct democracy coming out of the community to speak for us on city council.
Now, who started it and how did it actually get started? Tell me about the beginnings of the Citizens for Equity in Government.
Well, the Citizens for Equity in Government was started because of the city of Hickory not allowing us to have any say-so in what took place in our lives.
Was there a group or a one or two individuals who actually put this thing together and said, we need to have this representation? Who was that who did that?
Well, at first it was just a few people who came together. I know first my sister brought me in.
Right.
And then and we went down and talked to the city manager to no avail, and then she got sick. She had to have an operation.
Oh, my goodness.
And then she left it with me.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then I called in people that I knew.
Gotcha.
I called in people from the Ward 4. I called in people, and other people from around the city came in. I met people like, Joe here.
Right.
I met other people like Tom Shell.
Right.
I met other people throughout the city.
Who was with us in the studio this morning, but is off mic. We did invite two people today, or asked the Citizens for Equity in Government who were going to be the representatives,
right.
And we had you two join us. So good morning, Mr. Shell, who is off mic this morning. But so you were one of the originators of the group.
I was one of them, and then there were many more. But the thing is that we all found that we had a common problem.
Okay.
We didn't have a voice in what took place in our lives, and I keep reiterating that because that's what makes a civil society.
Very good. And I just want to make clear, because I do see it on the badges this morning here, we want to make clear the group, vote yes for True Wards. It's the yellow with the red on the yellow. So in case you see the signs out there, we want to make sure that everybody understands this is the vote yes for True Wards. Election coming up September 18th. We want to make sure that you're aware of the group who is joining us this morning. It's the Citizens for Equity in Government. Billy Sudderth, a member, and Joe Brannock, the chair. More First Talk right after the break. Good morning. Welcome back to First Talk with Hal Row on 1290 WHKY Talk Radio for the Greater Hickory Metro. Joining us this morning are members of the Citizens for Equity in Government Committee. Joe Brannock, the chair. Billy Sudderth, a member. We'll talk with you, Mr. Sudderth, in just a minute, because you brought up something very interesting, that you've been involved with this type of thing since the 60s. Right. That you understand representation and have been doing this since the 60s. Again, if you see the yard signs, the advertisement, this is the group that says vote yes for True Ward September 18th. Joe Brannock, before we continue on, I know that you had some things that you wanted to bring up this morning, so I want to give you that opportunity to do that this morning, to talk about the Citizens for Equity in Government, some of the things that you wanted to bring to light.
First and foremost, in the break we were talking about the petition and it's how it came about and everything. With the Republican National Convention starting today and the Democrats starting up in a couple weeks, politics and democracy and stuff, that comes on our radar every 2 to 4 years around this time of year. I hope that we have demonstrated that through a petition process, democracy, politics, community involvement, what have you, is something that's alive 365 days a year, regardless of the year. Get involved in your government. It's a good thing, and only good things. Two things can happen when you get involved with government. Only two things. Bad ideas can be stopped, and good ideas can be made better. So get out there and get involved and participate. Okay. In going around the state, there are good examples of cities that have True Ward systems.
Define real quick, just so I can understand. That's what's a True Ward system.
True Ward system. The candidate lives inside the ward,
right,
and only the ward votes for that candidate.
That's a True Ward system.
That is a True Ward system.
And that's what we're voting. This group is voting yes for. That's what you want.
Right.
Okay.
Examples of cities across the state that have True Ward systems that are, we all have visited them. They're great places to ago, Winston-Salem, Rocky Mount, Elizabeth City, Statesville down the road, and Gastonia down the road. Gastonia is a 2010 All-American City. And they've also been voted by the U.S. Conference of Mayors as a most livable city. They've received the Most Livable City Award. But if we look in our own backyard here in Hickory, we have a true ward system style government or election system in Hickory with the Hickory City School Boards. It is a true ward system. You are elected. There are 6 school wards. Those representatives are elected by their wards and their wards only, and they have one at-large member, which is elected citywide. Now, some of the things that have been said about making the change to a true ward system, which let me just say that it's not making a change to a true ward system. It is about going back and restoring the true ward system that Hickory enjoyed for 100 years, up until 1970. So that some of the things that have been said about a true ward system is that it will bring about Chicago-style politics. It has even been equated to Tammany Hall on the Catawba. I don't know of anyone that would look at our Hickory City School Board and consider it being ran in a Chicago-style political way. Our test scores are up, graduation rates are up. They're functioning. They are functioning.
So you're taking a look at that as a true ward system in comparison to what we have or what we could have, going back to the original city charter.
Right.
Okay.
And, I think the criticisms that are being leveled against a city council ward system are simply untrue in that they are not found in the school board ward-style system of electing representatives.
And also, I was going to say, I wanted to, before we run out of time, talk with Mr. Sudderth this morning, because you've been involved in this since the 1960s.
Oh, yeah.
And tell me just a little bit about that. You have actually been involved in making sure that people have proper representation?
Yeah, of course. It started as a young boy, but prior to that, I had gone out to Highlander Folk School in Mount Eagle, Tennessee, and studied under Miss Septima Clark, who was one of the people who started this thing in the 50s and 60s.
Right.
But what happened was that we found earlier that we need to find better vehicles of being represented in all areas of society, and being involved in this is just one of the more, I guess you said, recent involvements that has taken place, because I don't want to go back into the history, but I remember the ward system in Hickory. And I remember the ward system in Hickory doing segregation, but I also remember the ward system in Hickory not being able to let me be a participant in it at that particular time due to the process of segregation. So I'm not naive about that.
Right.
But we did know at that time that if we were going to be involved, we had to have some type of vehicle in place to where we could voice our concerns.
For words like disenfranchised have come up, a lot of things that have happened that you have experienced.
The disenfranchisement and then modern day dilution of the votes, what bothers me. And I got these things from people in the dominant community telling me about how their votes have been diluted and they can't get representation on city council. That's not me. That's coming from, it's not these gentlemen either. It's coming from other people.
I want to thank you very much for your time this morning. I appreciate you coming in. We're going to wrap up this morning with Mr. Brannock. Go ahead, Joe, you've got the last word this morning.
Oh, man, the last word. Right now, a city council member represents 40,000 people in Hickory.
Right.
I believe that you could have a more accountable, more effective, more representative city council member if you went to the true ward system, because you would take that representative and you would, as a citizen, you are right now 1 in 40,000. Under a ward system, you would become 1 in 6,700. Your voice would be louder. Your voice would be more effective. And it's a good thing.
We're going to have a debate on the air Wednesday morning from both groups. They're going to be sitting here. And one thing that we always like to do on the program is we're going to be looking at the positives from both sides. We're going to be saying why this would be a good thing on either side. But I want to ask you personally, has this been tough for you? Has this been a good thing? Because you're kind of baptism by fire for what I don't know that I've ever seen you. Have you run for public office?
No.
Okay, no. Are you thinking about it now? No. I was going to say, how has this been for you personally? What's this been like for you personally, getting involved and actually trying to make a difference in the community?
It's been a blast.
Really?
When we filed the petition with the Catawba County Board of Elections on July 6th of last year,
right.
And we were out of the gate. We came out, fighting hard, and just spending this past year going around collecting signatures, meeting with neighborhood groups, meeting with little old ladies in their house for coffee, sharing a message that I believe in.
Right.
It's been fun. Being involved is a good thing.
Very good. Joe Brannock, Chair of Citizens for Equity in Government. He'll be back Wednesday morning as we host a debate talking about the positives of each side and the reason that that citizens should vote one way or another. Joe Brannock, the Chair, Citizens Equity in Government. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. Good to see you. Billy Sudderth, no stranger to the First Talk Studios. Always good to see you, sir. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Member for Citizens and Equity in Government. And we wish you all the very best come September 18th. More First Talk right after this.
Fry Regional Medical Center is pleased to the news and talk of Hickory, 1290 WHKY.
Welcome back to First Talk with Hal Row on 1290 WHKY Talk Radio for the Greater Hickory Metro. Our guests this morning for the half an hour with Joe Brannock and Billy Sudderth, members of the Citizens for Equity in Government. I got to tell you, I think for my this is just me. This is just me. I think in this case, I've heard both sides. I've talked with members for either side of this, and I got to tell you one thing that I like about this is that we've got spirited discussion. We've got people who truly believe on either side of the issue and who are passionate about what they believe in and about the upcoming vote. And I haven't heard anybody yet be really mean or nasty. I haven't heard any name calling, or anybody. It's nice to see people who are disagreeing without being disagreeable. I think that's the nice thing. That's a good thing that's happened so far. And like I said, I know that people are passionate about this on either side. And I think it's great to see. I think it's great to see people on either side of this issue who and are going to get out and vote and are going to get. And this is a special election in the city of Hickory, and man, oh man, it makes me feel good to see that this is, and Susie brought it up, I think that Susie said it well during the break, is that maybe it's like Congress used to be, where people were friends, and people knew each other, and maybe they had disagreed on certain issues, but we're not disagreeing. It's gotten so mean and so nasty nowadays. But that's one good thing that I see. And here's the neat thing I think about this is because it doesn't matter which side you come down on. Both groups want to do what they feel is best for the city of Hickory.
That's right.
Nobody here is saying, let's throw Hickory under the bus. No one's saying, Hickory? Really? No one's coming in from another area wanting to, trash Hickory. That's not what it's all about. It's about both groups wanting to find the very best Hickory that we can have. And you can't beat that.
No, you can't.
You can't beat people getting involved and saying, this is the way I think that Hickory would work best. and other people saying, no, this is the way that Hickory would work best. And they get in there, and they mix it up, and they match it up, and they talk about it, and they discuss it, and they go to the polls, and they vote on it, and then, that gives everybody an opportunity to step forward and say, this is the way that I believe, So I like it, and I think I would like it probably a lot less, and I think that it would be very disappointing to me where there hate speech, where the people got nasty or people got mean, and people said nasty things and made it individuals, and pointed fingers. That's not the way it's supposed to be.
No, it isn't.
And so that's that kind of, because this to me seems to so far is risen above that. And when you get into name calling and you get into people being nasty to each other, I don't want anything to do with it. That's
neither do I.
That's when that's divisive. That's not helpful. That's not helping anybody.
I'm a Libra. I like balance.
Are you a Libra?
I am.
Really? I thought you were born in some. Well, of course it's
Virgo, right?
Yes, and please, could you move that coffee cup over a little bit to the left? Please, thank you. Okay, very good. It's not so much about balance with me as it is. Well, I've told you the story about the sock drawer.
Yes.
About the girl that I was dating in Montgomery and went in